Good afternoon, everyone. I want to begin by thanking Rihanna and her parents for inviting me to speak today to you, today's youth. So this message will be focused almost entirely on you. But don't worry, parents. I do have something I'm going to close this presentation out on that is exclusively for parents. You know, a famous inventor once said that what you are will show in what you do. And that famous inventor was Thomas Edison. So you're in good company. But from what I can see, based on your presence here at today's event, I've made two observations. One, you're passionate. You're passionate about helping your community and helping others. And two, you're determined. You're determined to make a difference in this world. And you have that capacity. But you know, I'm not sure if Thomas Edison was aware, but he was actually expressing a portent to what Albert Bandura refers to as self-efficacy. You know, that sounds like a big word, but that word applies to you. What is self-efficacy? Self-efficacy is you realizing that you have the ability and the power and the mandate to move forward and make a difference in improving this earth which you will be inheriting for far more longer years than me and your parents. It's the awareness that no one can change your trajectory of doing brilliant, amazing things and applying your critical skill sets to solve some of today's biggest problems. Self-efficacy applies to you, and if you have the capacity to tinker, as Rihanna just made note, and if you have the capacity to be curious, then you have two of the requirements to exude in self-efficacy. But the key is to know that you don't need permission. It is yours for the asking and the taking and the acting. I often share in these presentations where an inventor that many of you probably know, at least his product, a water gun by the name of the Super Soaker. Well, that product was invented by my good friend Lonnie Johnson. And Lonnie Johnson, at your age, had aspired to be an aerospace engineer. In fact, he was so enamored with the whole notion of becoming an aerospace engineer that at the age of 12, he actually attempted to make rocket fuel on his mom's kitchen stove. But that day didn't go too well. It really didn't. And after all the sparks and flames and embers and smoke, Lonnie rushed to his bedroom to put on a second pair of pants. Now, why did he put on a second pair of pants? Because he knew that when his father got home that day, that he was going to tear an absolute hole in his rear end in creating such a mess and such a scare. But you know what happened? When Lonnie's father got home that evening, he looked at the stove, the residue was still there, the smoke was still there, and the mom was seething. So he asked her, said, "Where's Lonnie? Where's Lonnie? Have him come out here to see me." So Lonnie came out of his bedroom, shaking in his boots, 2 pair of pants, mind you. And he asked Lonnie, "What is this?" Lonnie attempted to explain to him what he was doing, and his father asked to see him out in the backyard. He sat him on the porch. He placed his arm around him, and he said, "You know, son, what you did here is very dangerous. And if you have to do that in the future, do it outside in the backyard." Then he bought him a portable stove. Now, the moral of that story, and this is where I get to the parents, the moral of that story is simply See in your kids what they can be, and what you see they will become. And my good friend Lonnie Johnson, in addition to becoming a world-renowned inventor of the Super Soaker, which has made over $3 billion in sales, one of the leading selling toys in the annals of toy making, he was also an aerospace engineer for Johnson Space Center. He worked on the spaceship Galileo and many other important projects for NASA. And now he's doing leading research in energy preservation. So mom and dads, I told you that last bit of advice that I want to share today is directly for you, right? So take Lonnie up on his admonishment to see in your kids what they can be, and what you see they will become. So as a result, your child is exhibiting what I call some mischief, or if your child, now we don't want them trying to make rocket fuel on your stove, but if they're exhibiting some mischief, nurture that. Because mischief is in fact one of the characteristics of creative behavior. And creative behavior is in fact, the leading precursor to solving innovative problems. Why? Because it gives you creative confidence. So what they're demonstrating right now will just get better and better and better. And I cannot thank this young lady enough, because it's rare to have a 12 and 13-year-old put together a program that is so efficient, so well run, so defined. And as I look at these challenges that you are about to take on, I am just stupefied. It is amazing. And I cannot wait. And as you take them on, I want to just leave with you a few words of advice concerning working through the stages, right? Be confident. Approach it with reckless abandonment. No idea is silly. No idea is dumb. All ideas count. Cooperate, derive strength from one another's input, and more importantly, try to embrace the notion of yes and. So as you're in the battle station and you're in the workshop and you're sharing ideas, don't meet it with no. Meet it with yes and. That continues the conversation. And the next thing you know, you're doing absolutely brilliant things. I'm looking at tomorrow's leaders here, and I could not feel any more welcomed and fulfilled to know that our future is in good hands. So Rihanna, keep on doing what you're doing, because this is absolutely amazing. And everyone here today is truly blessed to have you in this program. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Howard. Those words were really inspiring. And now we're going to be moving on to our idea challenge, where all the students will be coming up with a real-world solution to a real-world problem.